Yes, absolutely. Alright, most welcome. Have a nice day too. Hi, madam. So, for this video, we will elaborate more on how human resource management function can positively affect organizational performance. But in HRM function, we will be more focusing on performance management. So, enjoy the video, madam.
Hi madam, my name is Nur Balqis binti Md Rubani. So today I want to share with you about organizational effectiveness. It is defined as a concept to measure the efficiency of an organization in its meeting its objective with the help of given resources without putting undue strain on its employees. It is about how the company can produce the target quotas of products, how efficient its process is, and how much waste is produced.
There are three measures. First, measuring survival and growth. Measuring the growth and ability of an organization survive indicates whether it is possible to meet prescribed goals and to keep improving. Second, measuring a good fit with the environment. The better organization can balance internal capabilities and resources with the demands of the environment, the higher they perform. Indicators include turnover or productivity rates. Third, measuring relevance. In the system's view, performance is achieved if organizations fulfill the complex demands of all stakeholders using optimum resources. This includes investors, employees, but also others.
Hi, Madam Arnida. My name is Muhammad Zulhasny. Moving on to the factors that impact organizational performance, we provide three of it. Firstly is work environment. This includes the lighting, temperature, the noise, and atmospheric condition exercise on the workers' productivity. Secondly is leadership style. Leadership style is viewed as a combination of different characteristics, traits, and behaviors that are used by leaders for interacting with their subordinates. And thirdly is human resource function. It is a function of the organization which deals with concerns that are related to the staff of the organization in terms of hiring, compensation, performance, safety, wellness, benefits, motivation, and also training. But in this video, we will be more focusing on human resource function.
What is performance management? Performance management is an ongoing process of communication between a supervisor and employee that occurs throughout the year in support of accomplishing the strategic objective of the organization. The communication process includes clarifying expectations, setting objectives, identifying goals, providing feedbacks, and reviewing results.
Performance management versus performance appraisal. Performance management is very dynamic because it involves a lot of dialogue between the employee and the senior managers. There is more room for discussion in performance management. Second, performance management is strategic in the sense that it is consistently measuring an employee's performance and formulating new strategies for the employee's development. Last but not least, performance management has a holistic approach that evaluates the relationships between the employee and the organizations and examines ways in which employee engagement can be fostered. Next, performance appraisal. Performance appraisal are very linear in terms of the communication because it has a very top-down approach towards employee performance. There is a discussion that takes place only after the performance appraisal process. A performance appraisal system is operational because it follows certain protocols for performance and it focuses only on the result of the employee's performance. Last but not least, performance appraisal is individualistic in nature and pertains to the employee and his past performance. Purpose of a performance review. First, provide performance feedback. Feedback is far more effective when delivered formally. One of the most important purposes of performance management today is to give and request feedback regularly, regardless of whether it is positive or constructive in nature. All feedback is progressive and should be delivered as soon as possible. This is increasingly important to employees. Second, recognize individual performance achievement. Recognition is also positively linked to productivity and high performance. Recognition doesn't have to come at a high price. There are many cost-effective means of acknowledging great efforts and accomplishments, and it's been shown that the greatest way of incentivizing employees is with intrinsic motivator. Last but not least, make retention, termination, and layoff decision. Termination should be the last resort for employers, and following all the previous steps in this performance management process can help you avoid it. However, if it does become necessary, it's crucial to have a written plan in place and documentation to support the decision to end an employee's relationship with a company.
There are 6 steps in performance management process. The first one is goals set to align with higher level goals. The second one is behavior expectation and standards set and then align with employees and organization goals. And the third one is ongoing performance feedback provided. The fourth one is performance appraised by managers and others. The fifth one is formal review of feedback section conducted, and the sixth one is HR decision making. There are 4 ways in developing an effective performance management system. The first one is set performance standard. The second one is comply with law, which is performance reviewers must meet the following legal guidelines. The first guideline is performance rating must be job related with performance standard developed through a job analysis. The second guideline is employee must be provided with clear written job standard in advance of their reviews so they understand what they need to do to get top ratings. The third one is provide info and feedback, which is 360-degree evaluation, performance evaluation done by different people who interact with the employees, for example, by superior or team manager. The fourth one is skillful reviewer. Managing a person's performance requires a wide range of skills, from the interpersonal through to process skill. So, organization must train their viewer on how to prepare review plan and execute it, how to measure, how to give feedback, and how to avoid bias in evaluation.
In human resource functions, it has 8 functions. Firstly, we have human resource planning. In this function, it explains how human resource planning and a firm's mission, vision, and values are integrally linked to its strategy. Secondly, we have job analysis and design. In this function, it provides example illustrating the various factors that must be taken into account when designing a job, including what motivates employees. Thirdly, we have recruitment and selection. In this function, it determines the sources and alternatives for recruiting and also selecting process. Next, we have human resource development. This is where we know how the effectiveness of training programs and evaluated and describe some of the additional training programs conducted by firms. Next, we have performance management. In performance management, it explains the various methods used to evaluate the performance of employees. Next, we have compensation and benefits. In this function, it describes the different types of pay for performance. Next, we have employee safety and health. In this function, it elaborates the security concern at work, and last but not least is labor relations. And in this function, it's structured and function of trade union. And in this video, we will be more focusing on performance management. What is the interrelated between performance management and also the impact of organization performance? Well, our group found out two importance in this situation, which is the first one is supplements the annual performance review. This prepares both employees and the managers about what to expect during the annual appraisal. It keeps both the managers and the employee in the loop about ongoing chances to the performance management process, what both can do to streamline it, and how performance overall can be improved. Secondly is to employees. Continuous performance management indicates that managers value them. Well, in this point, we know that employees believe that their managers are interested in their work and care about their goals and any issue they may face in the course of their job. They also become more open to receiving constructive feedback. Wait, to know more about performance management. Moving on to performance review methods, it has three of it. Firstly is trait. Trait is the approaches that are focusing on people's characteristics. For example, personalities, leadership skills, initiative, and even work in a team. Secondly, we have behavior. This is the approaches provide more action-oriented information to employees. For example, how to solve a problem. And thirdly is result-oriented. This is the approach focuses on the measurable contributions that employees make to the organizations. For example, sales, input, and also productivity. Trait method. In trait method, it has four types of it. Firstly, we have graphic rating scale method. This is a trait approach to performance rating whereby each employee is rated according to a scale of characteristics. Secondly, we have mixed standard scale method. It is a trait approaches to performance rating based on the comparison with better than, equal to, or worse than standard. The statements are randomly mixed in an attempt to make it less obvious which reflect good or bad performance. Thirdly, we have forced choice method. The reader will choose from statements designed to distinguish between successful and unsuccessful performance. And last but not least, we have AC method. It is a trait approaches to performance rating that requires the writer to write a statement describing an employee's behavior. Next, behavioral method. In this method, it also has four types of it, which is the first one, critical incident method. When using the critical incident method, the manager keeps a log or diary for each employee throughout the review period and notes specific critical incidents related to how well they perform. Secondly, we have behavioral checklist method. The behavioral checklist method requires a director to check statements on a list that describes characteristics of the employee's behavior. And thirdly, we have behavioral observation scale, which is BOSS. It is the behavioral approach to performance rating that measures the frequency of observed behavior. And last but not least, behaviorally anchored rating scale, which is bars. This method is comparing an individual's performance against specific examples of behavior, which are then categorized and appointed a numerical value used as the basis of rating performance. Last but not least, result-oriented method. This refers to sales, productivity, and quality measures. The results from sales, productivity, and quality measures are directly linked what employees accomplished to result the benefits to the organizations. And for your information, this is also called as management by objective, which is MBO. The philosophy of management that rates this performance of employees based on their achievement of goals set mutually by them and their managers. Moving on to performance review meetings and feedback session. This session is a formal conversation between an employer and also an employee that talks about the performance from the employee. This diagram simplifies the situation. But the question is, how to do the meeting? What are the strategies that a manager can do to ensure an effective and efficient feedback session? With that, continue watching this video.
Next, we move to types of performance review meeting and feedback sessions. Number 1, tell and seller persuader, which means a manager must use skillful motivation and persuasive technique to change an employee behavior in order to accomplish this goal. Number 2, tell and listen, divided into 2 sessions. On first session, the appraiser or supervisor discuss the employee's strengths and weaknesses. After the first session is completed, the employee feelings about the review will be addressed in detail. Number 3, problem solving. It aims for employees' buy-in towards overcoming obstacles and improving actual performance of the employee by reaching mutual agreements on steps to take. Then, we move to improving performance. Number 1, identifying the sources of ineffectiveness performance through 3 primary concerns such as ability, motivation, and environment. Number 2, performance diagnosis by comparing different performance measures. Manager can begin to understand the underlying causes of performance problem. For example, traits, behavior, and results. Number 3, managing ineffectiveness performance. Once the source of poor performance is identified, actions such as training or transfer can be planned. Number 4, focus on changing the behavior. A manager must separate the employee from the behavior.
Why performance management is important to employee? The first one is boost employee engagement. Performance management, when it truly involves employees, will boost employee engagement. When there is a connection between management and employees, it is almost as though employees are just going through the motion of the day. The position becomes merely a job as opposed to a rewarding career. This leads to job satisfaction and employee loyalty, all of which increase productivity. The second one is it helps in boosting employee productivity. Performance management typically creates an ongoing interaction and an atmosphere of encouragement, support, and trust. It also assists in developing a relationship between a company and its employee. If a member of staff know that their employer and the organization cares about their effort and is committed to assisting them in doing more and advance their career, the odds are very high that they will want to engage better with the business. The last one, it helps to enforce goal setting and achievement. A good performance management system helps employees to understand the goals of the company and what they are expected to do to achieve those goals. This means they will understand how their contribution affect the overall growth of the business. Thus, performance management will help in business and executive goal setting.
Why performance management is important towards employers. First, increase focus on driving business results. Since all goals are aligned, and employees' day-to-day work supports the company's missions, this promotes year-round focus on key business results and driving profitability. And the last one, an empowered and engaged workforce. Companies can deepen employee engagement by creating a culture of shared accountability for career growth and development.
Impacts of poor performance implementation towards employees. Number 1, employees become demotivated. It's caused when employees feel unappreciated or unrecognized by their managers can affect their performance and engagement. Number 2, employees would quit based on unfair results. If an employee perform well and then feel that they were assessed unfairly, this can cause them to leave the company. Number 3, job satisfaction drops and employees become burned out. If the performance management system they are using is unfair and invalid, employees are more likely to become dissatisfied and burned out in their roles.
How about the impact of poor performance management towards employer? In this video, we provide 3 of it. Firstly is biased performance ratings. The introduction of human biases, such as personal values, ideas, or relationship, could also lead to unfair treatment. Unfortunately, the employee and manager might not be recognized actual performance problems in this situation, leaving issues undiscussed as they continue to affect the organization. Secondly is wasted time and money. A poorly implemented performance management puts a strain on employers. The large amount of time and energy spent on performance management is magnified if the performance management is not providing the benefits that come from a well-implemented program. And lastly is damaged relationship. Employer and also employees' relationship are also at risk due to the lack of communication between them.
In conclusion, performance management systems are the most focused in business today. Even though the entire HR department is distributed to training, recruitment, performance appraisal, and the performance appraisal is just occur in a period time. Performance management is an uninterrupted, continuous, and sustained progress because each part of the organization, such as training, appraisal, and award, are all related to the purpose of continuous organization effectiveness.